The shuttle hummed softly as it descended through the thick violet clouds of Virelia. Outside the small viewport, towers of crystal and floating gardens shimmered in the alien sunlight. Captain Alex Monroe, human ambassador and explorer, pressed his hand against the glass, staring in awe. He had expected strange landscapes, bizarre life forms, but nothing prepared him for the elegance of this world. "Beautiful, isn't it?" asked Lieutenant Chen, his second in command, trying to mask her nervousness. "Almost. Peaceful." Alex didn't answer immediately. His eyes followed a silver glider soaring between two floating spires, its pilot small but unmistakably regal. "Yes," he said finally. "Peaceful, but something tells me peace here is complicated." The shuttle landed gently on a platform, surrounded by a moat of liquid light. The air was fragrant, heavy with scents that Alex couldn't name. As they disembarked, a group of Virelians awaited them. Tall, slender beings with translucent skin that glimmered like pearl, they moved with the grace of dancers. Their eyes were large, liquid, reflecting colors Alex didn't have names for. At the center of the group stood a figure that made Alex stop dead in his tracks. She was smaller than the others, but there was something commanding about her presence. Her hair floated slightly, like it had a life of its own. Her eyes were deep, purple, and when she looked at him, it felt like she could see everything, every thought, every doubt. She spoke, her voice melodious but firm. "You are the human they call Alex Monroe?" Alex swallowed. "Yes, Your Highness." He wasn't used to addressing royalty, and this, whatever this was, felt far beyond any protocol he had learned. "I am Princess Lyria," she said. "I hear you humans think differently from us. I want to see if that is true." She stepped closer, tilting her head, studying him with curious intensity. "Tell me, am I too ugly for you, human?" Alex blinked. He had misheard. He glanced at Chen, who looked just as confused. Then he looked back at the princess. She was asking seriously if she was ugly. He burst into laughter. Not a nervous laugh. Not a mocking one. A real, deep laugh that made his shoulders shake. Lyria's eyes narrowed. "What is so funny?" she asked, a mixture of annoyance and confusion in her tone. Alex wiped a tear from his eye and shook his head. "I'm sorry, Your Highness. It's just ugly. You are the most striking creature I have ever seen." He gestured vaguely at her shimmering hair and glowing skin. "Honestly, I'm trying to figure out how anyone could even imagine you as ugly." Lyria blinked. Then, slowly, her shoulders relaxed. "You humans are strange," she said. "You laugh at what others take seriously." Alex grinned. "Yeah. We like seeing the funny side of things. Sometimes it helps us survive, or at least makes the world more interesting." There was a pause as Lyria studied him, curiosity mixing with a hint of amusement. Finally, she nodded. "Interesting. Perhaps your kind has wisdom I have not yet understood." The other Virelians watched silently, exchanging subtle gestures. Clearly, this human did not behave like anyone they had encountered before. Lyria gestured for Alex to follow her. "Come," she said. "I want to show you our city." As they walked, Alex noticed the subtle beauty of the Virelians' architecture. Buildings floated effortlessly, connected by bridges of light. Gardens hung upside down. Yet the plants thrived. The air was filled with soft music vibrations. Alex could feel more than hear. "This is incredible," Alex said, looking around. "How do you even maintain this?" "It is not about maintenance, human. It is about harmony. Everything has its place, its purpose, its rhythm." Lyria's gaze swept over the city, proud yet thoughtful. "But perhaps your kind does not understand that. You, humans, are messy, chaotic. But there is something I cannot name. something that draws me. Alex chuckled. Messy. Yes. Chaotic. Sometimes. But we humans survive. By thinking differently. By not always following the rules. Lyria tilted her head. Perhaps that is why I am curious about you. You are unpredictable. You laugh at questions that might frighten others. You see beyond appearances. Alex laughed softly. You have me figured out faster than I figured out you. She smiled faintly. A smile that felt like sunlight breaking through clouds. Perhaps, but do not mistake curiosity for simplicity, human. I have seen your kind's history. I know the power you possess. I want to see if that power lies within you. Now. Before Alex could answer, a sudden alert rang through the city. Lights flashed across the floating gardens, and an urgent vibration pulsed in the air. Lyria's expression hardened. Trouble, she said. Follow me, quickly. They ran through corridors of shimmering crystal, Alex marveling at the way light bent and shifted as they passed. They reached a central chamber, where a holographic map of Virelia floated above the floor. Red flashes marked disturbances in the energy network. The city's core was under threat. The energy core? Alex asked, his eyes widening. Is it dangerous? It could destroy this city. And all who live in it, Lyria said. A rogue faction seeks to destabilize the core. If they succeed. She paused, glancing at Alex. Your kind may not survive. Alex felt a surge of adrenaline. Then, we stop them. Together. Lyria's eyes widened slightly. Together? She repeated. Do you know what that means? Humans rarely work well with others in such critical situations. I've never met someone like you, Alex said, grinning. So, maybe this time is different. She studied him, expression unreadable. Then, without another word, she activated a teleportation pad, pulling Alex beside her. In a flash of violet light, they were on the floating platforms surrounding the energy core. The city stretched below them, beautiful and fragile. Alex took a deep breath. He had faced danger before, but this was alien, unpredictable, and beautiful. His pulse raced, but he felt an odd sense of calm. Lyria glanced at him, her eyes flicking between the approaching danger and the human beside her. You laugh at danger, human, she said. Why? Alex shrugged. Because laughing is easier than panicking. And maybe because I see potential. You might be thinking the same way. Lyria's lips curved into a small smile. Perhaps. As they prepared to confront the rogue faction, Alex realized something important. Humans might not be as elegant as the Virelians, but their strength lay in unpredictability, courage, and humor. Traits that, even here, on a planet of perfection, could change everything. And Princess Lyria, proud, beautiful, cautious, and endlessly curious, might just learn that true value was not in appearances, but in character. The air crackled with tension as the first signs of the intruders appeared on the horizon. Lyria turned to Alex, her expression fierce but slightly uncertain. Do you think your kind is ready for this? Human? Alex laughed, soft but confident. Not just ready. We've got this. For the first time, the princess laughed too, not at the human, but with him. And in that laugh, something shifted. Curiosity became respect. Respect became trust. And trust might just lead to something far more powerful than either of them expected. The violet sky above Virelia seemed to glow a little brighter as they moved forward, side by side, ready to face the unknown. The floating platforms trembled under the approaching storm of energy. Red streaks of light shot across the city as the rogue faction moved closer to the core. Captain Alex Monroe tightened his grip on his communicator, while Princess Lyria's eyes narrowed with determination. We don't have much time, Lyria said. If they reach the core, the city will collapse in minutes. Alex studied the energy patterns projected on the holographic map. I need to see their formation, he said. Then I can figure out a way to stop them without a full attack. Lyria raised an eyebrow. You do not intend to fight? Not like you think, Alex replied. Humans don't always fight with brute force. Sometimes, we solve problems. Creatively. Lyria tilted her head, curious but skeptical. Creative? That is a dangerous word, when lives are at stake. Alex grinned. I know, but danger is where humans shine. The rogue faction appeared sleek, armored ships hovering like predatory birds. They moved in perfect formation, clearly trained to attack in a single, devastating strike. Lyria's team prepared weapons. Energy pulses ready to fire. Alex took a deep breath. Step back, he said to Lyria. Let me try something. What do you mean? She asked. Just watch. He pulled out a small device from his belt, something that looked almost ordinary but hummed with faint energy. It was a prototype human invention, a disruptor capable of creating interference in electronic systems. Alex had tested it in simulations, but never in real combat. He activated it. A soft pulse spread outward, invisible but powerful. Within seconds, the rogue ships began to falter. Their systems wavered. Engines sputtered. Formation broke. Lyria's eyes widened. How? Humans adapt, Alex said simply. We don't just follow rules. We improvise. We find weaknesses others miss. The rogue ships tried to regroup, but Alex had already calculated their next moves. He handed the disruptor to Lyria. Aim for their command hub. It's controlling the others. Disable it, and they collapse. Lyria hesitated. I do not usually trust humans with such things. Try me, Alex said with a grin. She took the device, focusing on the holographic coordinates. With precise movements, she targeted the command hub. A pulse of energy shot out, hitting the rogue ship's control systems. Lights flickered, engines groaned, and one by one, the ships went down. The city was safe for now. Lyria turned to Alex, a mix of astonishment and admiration in her gaze. You saved this city. Without weapons, without soldiers, with only your human ingenuity. Alex shrugged modestly. It's what we do. We see possibilities others miss. And sometimes, we laugh at the impossible. Until it becomes possible. She studied him quietly, then nodded. Perhaps your laughter is not just foolishness. Perhaps it is wisdom, disguised. As the adrenaline faded, Alex felt a sense of relief but also curiosity. Tell me, princess, your people value beauty above all else, and yet, in moments like this, bravery, quick thinking, and teamwork seem far more important. Why is that? Lyria looked away, her gaze drifting over the city. Virelia has always believed that outward perfection reflects inner strength. But perhaps it does not. Perhaps there are other measures, qualities that matter more. Fivler, the road time. Alex smiled. You might be realizing that the human way isn't so bad. She glanced at him sharply. Do not mistake my curiosity for agreement. Fair enough, Alex said, laughing softly. But sometimes, curiosity is the first step to change. Suddenly, a ripple of warning spread through the energy field. Alex turned to see that a group of rogue operatives had infiltrated the city itself, attempting to sabotage the core directly. The situation had escalated beyond expectations. Lyria's expression hardened. They are inside. If they reach the core, all is lost. Alex's mind raced. We need a diversion. Something unpredictable. Something human. Lyria looked confused. Human? Alex smirked. Exactly. Follow my lead. He grabbed a small handheld device from his kit, pressed a few buttons, and a pulse of light shot upward. The rogue operatives froze, momentarily blinded and disoriented. Alex ran toward the core, dodging energy streams and malfunctioning defenses, using every trick he had learned from simulations and real-life improvisations. Lyria followed, her grace and speed unmatched. But for the first time, she allowed herself to rely on Alex's instincts, instead of controlling every movement herself. They reached the core chamber together. The rogue operatives were attempting to hack into the system, their energy weapons ready. Alex assessed the situation. "We need to think faster than they do," he muttered. "And humans, we think differently." He activated another device, this one creating a holographic illusion of multiple Alex-like figures moving in every direction. The operatives were confused, unable to determine the real threat. Lyria seized the opportunity, using precise strikes to disable their equipment. "Your tactics are unusual," she said, impressed. "But effective." Alex laughed, a low, confident sound. "Unusual works. Sometimes rules exist to be bent." The operatives, unable to regain control, fled. The core stabilized, the city's energy field returning to normal. The floating platforms stopped trembling. The threat was over. Lyria turned to Alex, her eyes shining. You are unlike any human I imagined. Not just clever, not just brave, but fearless. And somehow, joyful even in danger." Alex grinned. "Humans survive by finding joy in the chaos, laughing, even when the world is falling apart. It helps us think, helps us act, and sometimes helps us win." She studied him, a new respect in her gaze. "Perhaps it is not outward beauty that matters. Perhaps it is strength of heart, mind, and spirit." Alex nodded. "Exactly. That's what I've been trying to say since the moment you asked if you were ugly." For the first time, Lyria smiled fully, a smile that reached her eyes. "You have a strange way of seeing the world, human. Perhaps that is why I trust you." Alex laughed softly. "Trust goes both ways, princess. And right now, I trust you more than anyone I've ever met." As they left the core chamber, the city around them seemed more alive than ever. Virelia was a world of elegance, perfection, and beauty. But Alex realized something important. Humans brought something new: courage, creativity, humor, and unpredictability. Traits that could change the fate of worlds. Lyria glanced at him. "Your kind is fascinating. Perhaps we have much to learn from you." Alex smiled. "And humans, we have much to learn from your kind too. But maybe the lesson is not about appearances. Maybe it's about what we do, how we act, and the choices we make." Rasa, Winen, Ophir. The sun, or what passed for a sun on Virelia, cast long, iridescent shadows across the city. Alex and Lyria stood side by side, gazing out at the floating gardens, the shimmering towers, and the glowing energy fields. For the first time, Lyria felt a stirring of hope. Perhaps perfection was not the ultimate goal. Perhaps courage, laughter, and ingenuity mattered more. And for Alex, the thought was exhilarating. Humans were small, unpredictable, and unpolished. But they were capable of greatness. And in this strange, beautiful world, that greatness might just be enough to change everything. The adventure was far from over. The rogue faction had been defeated for now, but Virelia was a world of secrets, intrigue, and challenges. Alex and Lyria would face them together, human ingenuity paired with alien elegance. But one thing was certain: humans were not to be underestimated, and Princess Lyria, for all her beauty and power, was beginning to understand that sometimes The smallest, strangest, and most unpredictable beings can make the biggest difference. The violet sky above Virelia shimmered, a silent witness to the beginning of a partnership that could change the galaxy. The city of Virelia was quiet now, but the calm was deceptive. Though the rogue faction had been defeated, remnants of their plans still lingered in the shadows. Princess Lyria and Captain Alex Monroe stood atop a floating platform, overlooking the city. The violet sky, casting shimmering reflections across the towers below. "You humans are remarkable," Lyria said, her tone a mixture of admiration and disbelief. Alex laughed softly, shaking his head. "Unsettling, huh? I'll take that as a compliment." Lyria's eyes softened. "Perhaps it is. Your laughter, your courage, it changes things. You remind me that strength is not always visible, and wisdom does not always come from tradition." Alex smiled. "And humans, we learn fast when we see something worth learning." Their conversation was interrupted by a sudden tremor. The platform shook as the last remaining rogue operatives, desperate and cornered, attempted one final strike at the city's energy network. Lyria's guards readied their weapons, but Alex stepped forward. "Let me handle this," he said. Lyria raised an eyebrow but did not argue. She had learned by now that human ingenuity often worked in ways she could not predict. Alex surveyed the rogue operatives carefully. They were armed, confident in their knowledge of Virelian systems, but they had no idea what a human mind could do when pushed to its limits. He smiled. "All right. Let's make this interesting." He pulled a small device from his kit, a combination of earth engineering and improvisation. A pulse shot out, creating a holographic duplication of the core chamber, complete with illusionary guards. The rogue operatives hesitated, unable to discern reality from the illusion. "Humans fight dirty sometimes," Alex muttered under his breath, moving quickly toward the real intruders. Lyria followed, her movements precise and fluid, striking down any operative who tried to close in. Alex's unpredictability gave them the advantage. He tossed energy disruptors, set small traps, and even used a combination of holographic projections and misdirection to confuse their enemies. Virelian guards watched in awe as a single human manipulated the battlefield in ways that seemed almost magical. One of the operatives, realizing they were outmatched, shouted, "It is impossible. How is a human doing this?" Alex laughed, a low, confident laugh that carried across the platform. "Humans think differently. We improvise. We take risks. And sometimes, we just laugh at what others fear." The rogue operatives faltered, their cohesion broken. Lyria moved with precision, striking down the remaining threats and securing the energy network. The city's floating towers steadied, the danger finally over. Breathing heavily, Alex turned to Lyria. "Well, that was fun." Lyria's eyes shone with respect. "Fun? You call saving a city fun?" Alex grinned. Every human knows that facing danger with a smile, or at least a laugh, makes it a little easier. She studied him closely, realizing something she had not considered before. Humans, despite their small and unpolished appearance compared to Virelians, carried an inner strength that could not be measured by beauty or grace alone. Alex's courage, creativity, and humor had turned the tide of battle where sheer perfection might have failed. "You have changed my perspective, human," Lyria said quietly. "I once believed that perfection and beauty were the ultimate strengths. But you show me that courage, wit, and the ability to adapt are far greater." Alex's grin softened. "That's humans for you. We might not be perfect, but we survive. We adapt, and sometimes, we even thrive where perfection cannot." For a long moment, Lyria remained silent, absorbing his words. Then she smiled, a real, genuine smile that lit her face. Perhaps your kind is not merely remarkable. Perhaps humans are essential. Alex felt a warmth in his chest, a sense of pride that went beyond personal achievement. This was what humans could offer the galaxy. Not invincibility, not flawless beauty, but courage, creativity, humor, and resilience. Lyria turned to the city below, her eyes thoughtful. The people of Virelia will need to understand this. Human strength is not outward, but within. And perhaps we must reconsider our definitions of value and worth. Alex nodded. Exactly. Strength comes in many forms, and humans are proof that sometimes the smallest, most unpredictable beings can change the outcome of everything. A soft breeze stirred the floating gardens, carrying scents and colors that shimmered in the air. Lyria glanced at Alex again, her expression unreadable but softer than before. You are unusual, human. And yet, I find that I trust you more than anyone else I have met. Alex chuckled. Trust goes both ways, Princess. I trust you too. And I think, together, humans and Virelians could accomplish more than either of us could alone. For the first time, Lyria allowed herself to imagine a partnership not defined by hierarchy or appearances, but by mutual respect and shared purpose. Perhaps it is time for change, she said. For my people, for this world, and for the future. Alex smiled. Change is good, especially when it's led by someone brave enough to see it. They walked through the city together, side by side, observing the repairs, the bustling citizens, and the floating towers slowly returning to perfect equilibrium. Virelia was beautiful, but now Alex could see the true beauty lay not in perfection, but in courage, creativity, and the willingness to act in the face of uncertainty. Lyria spoke softly. Your laughter, it is not foolishness. It is strength, and it has changed me. In Leaderly, Weekleb said, Your laughter, it is not foolishness. Alex laughed again, a warm, genuine sound. Glad to hear it. Humans have a lot of strength hidden in laughter. And sometimes, that's what saves the day. The two of them paused at the edge of a floating platform, looking out at the horizon. The city glimmered below, alive with light and color. Alex felt a thrill of excitement. This was only the beginning, not just of their friendship, but of something much larger. Princess, he said, there's something humans do that I think you should try more often. What is that? She asked, curious. Laugh. He replied simply. Laugh at the impossible. Laugh at fear. Laugh at the things that try to hold you back. You might find it makes the world easier and even more beautiful. Lyria considered his words, then let out a soft laugh, a sound that blended perfectly with the hum of the city and the shimmer of the sky. Perhaps I will try it, though I doubt I will ever reach your level. Alex grinned. It's not about level, it's about heart. And from what I've seen, you have plenty of heart. They shared a quiet moment. The air between them filled with mutual respect, trust, and an unspoken promise. Humans and Virelians were different, yet together they were stronger than either could be alone. Suddenly, a transmission came through the city's communication network. The leader of the Virelian Council spoke urgently, praising Lyria and Alex for their bravery and ingenuity. The message highlighted the importance of human creativity and unpredictability, acknowledging that true strength was more than appearance or tradition. Lyria turned to Alex. Your kind may change more than I thought. Perhaps this is only the beginning of a new era. Alex smiled. And it's going to be one heck of an era, Princess. Humans, Virelians, together, we can take on anything. As the violet sky darkened into a stunning display of alien stars, Alex felt a sense of purpose unlike anything he had known. He was a human, small, imperfect, unpredictable, and yet He had helped shape the future of an entire world. Lyria looked at him one last time, her eyes shining with admiration and curiosity. You are extraordinary, human. Do not forget that your kind has much to offer. Alex laughed softly. Neither should you, princess. And neither should your people. Strength comes in many forms. Never forget that. Number 1. Number forget that. The stars above Virelia twinkled as if in agreement. A partnership had been forged. One that would change not only their world, but perhaps the galaxy itself. Humans were no longer small or insignificant. They were clever, courageous, and capable of greatness. And Princess Lyria, beautiful and powerful, had learned a lesson that would shape her leadership for years to come. That true value lies not in appearance, but in heart, mind, courage, and laughter. The city below shimmered with light, the energy core stabilized, and the people of Virelia moved forward with renewed hope. And Captain Alex Monroe, human ambassador, stood tall beside the princess, ready to face whatever the future might bring. Together, human ingenuity and Virelian grace had proven that even in the vast, unpredictable universe, the smallest spark of courage could ignite a change that would shine brighter than the stars themselves.